1, 2. 1, 2. Hello? You can't hear it in your ears? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. Should be going into your computer. But it's not going to be going into your computer if you're connected. Hi, Dave. If you're looking for 1 million cups. Oh. Dang it. We're at. You have like 40? Yes.
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 1, 2. How about now?
I can't hear it in my headphones, but that doesn't mean.
What time did it start? 9 or 9:30?
9.
Yeah.
Did you want to use your computer?
Yeah, what do you have set up right now?
So you're going to just connect to the Zoom?
And then I'll just present.
Yes.
And then where am I going to present from?
Right from here. Right there. Yeah. I'll move my computer.
I'm gonna do it the way I always do it to put the audio in.
Okay.
See if that helps, because maybe it's this thing. So now USB audio. Oh, the microphone.
All right. Anything? Maybe? Bueller? Dave, the Wi-Fi password is Green Denver. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay.
Testing 1, 2.
Click that mute button.
Hello, everybody. We're going to get started in about a minute. There's an echo. There we go. Sweet. All right. Good morning, everyone. Hello, Zoom. Hello, Green Spaces. Quick announcements for Zoom. People, please mute yourself when you're not speaking. There's the raise hand button in Zoom. Please use it during the Q&A. You're welcome to use the chat feature in Zoom to connect with others and share links. And if you want, you can also change your name in Zoom so we can get to know each other a little bit better. You can do maybe like a first name, job title, or first name company as well. My name is Nick Campion. I'll be your MC for today. You can add me on LinkedIn. I'll share my link in the chat soon. Here at 1 Million Cups, we meet every Wednesday at 9 a.m. at Green Spaces here in Rhino and also on Zoom. Coffee and tea at every meeting for people here at Green Spaces. There's coffee and tea in the back. We have a lot of cups, not a million of them. We got about 40 cups here so far. We're working on getting a million. So more people that show up, the more cups we will get. Here at 1 Million Cups, we do 600 presentations, followed by 15 to 20 minutes of audience feedback and questions. This is a place for entrepreneurs to be vulnerable, open, and transparent. We're here to discuss ideas, not people, and most importantly, to build connections. Show of hands, who's new to 1 Million Cups today? We got Dave. I don't think on Zoom. I know David's been around. I think I saw Ashley as well. If you guys don't know, we have a website, 1millioncupscom.com/Denver. Here you can sign up for a free membership, follow us, get a weekly email about who's presenting each week. This is also where you can apply to present as well. We do have some apps you can download. We also have a LinkedIn group. This is where I share who's presenting each week and other links that are shared during Zoom or other announcements as well. And then quick shout out to our sponsors. We're at Green Spaces Co-working, also Good Elephant, The Perk, that's the coffee we're drinking, Founders Craft, The Commons on Champa, and Colorado Lending Source. Let's give all of them a big round of applause. I did the circle applause. I take it very literal. Shout out to Green Spaces Co-working. That's where we're at today. It's in Rhino, 26th and Walnut, I think is the cross streets. If you do come here, you're welcome to stay for the whole day if you like. There's free coffee and tea, fiber, speed, Wi-Fi. It's a really cool space. No, oh, sorry. We also have happy hour at the end of the day on Thursdays too. So maybe that's another incentive to come check out Green Spaces. Shout out to the org team, myself, Gregarious, Kevin, Carter, Ali, Josh, and Courtney. Thanks for all you do. You guys are awesome. And now we're gonna do some volunteer introductions. Just looking for 3 people to introduce themselves, name, what you do, how you heard about 1 Million Cups, anything else you want to share. I'm going to have the mic passed around. If you do use the mic, please have your mask on when you speak into it. That's one requirement. Forgot to mention that earlier. So looking for some volunteers. If not, I'm just going to ask a call on people to introduce themselves. Anybody? All right, Jody.
Hello, can you hear me? Testing. Hi, my name is Jody. I've been with 1 Million Cups, or I've been going for, I want to say like a year and a half now. I love it. really inspired me once COVID hit, and I had a lot of time to think. I started my own company thanks to 1 Million Cups. I used to go every single Wednesday for like a year. Love it. Thank you, 1 Million Cups.
Thank you, Jody. Sean, you want to do introduction?
Good morning. I'm Sean. I'm a photographer and a videographer. I have a video production company, and I kind of help people with their brand message videos and testimonials, promos, training stuff, educational stuff, whatever you guys need. Also do corporate headshots and that kind of stuff on the photography side. I do have a pretty extensive background in software, so I kind of understand a little bit about what some of you guys are doing. So if I can help you, I'd love to. I was in that world for 20 years, so I get it and I understand what you guys are trying to do.
Thank you, Sean. We only have one presenter, so I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves. Ha ha ha. Mike? Cool.
Hi, my name is Mike. I'm an entrepreneur here working out of Green Spaces. I'm building a B2B marketplace for sustainable goods and services. And I have been coming to 1 Million Cups for about a month now.
Thank you, Mike. I'm going to go to Zoom now. Let's see. Sam, do you want to introduce yourself? Are you there, Sam? If not, how about David on Zoom? You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. David Pelsiger. I have also a video production company. I do some startup work and some corporate work, and focus on short kind of about us stuff and program launch videos and image pieces. And I've been coming to 1 Million Cups for probably 8 months, something around COVID, and I started, but not quite then.
Thank you, David. Ashley, are you there? Do you want to say hello as well?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I love seeing everyone together in person. I wish I could join you there. My name's Ashley Berghoff. My company is focused on system strategy and team building for lifestyle businesses at capacity, kind of helping them be able to grow past that one person mark. I've been coming to 1 Million Cups for probably 4 or 5 months now, I think, and live in Southeast Aurora.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. I've been seeing your book has been doing pretty well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been out
Amazon.
for almost a week now.
Awesome. Great job.
Thank you.
Josh, do you want to say hello? Okay.
Hi guys, Josh Butchness with Venture HR. I help organize with 1 Million Cups. I started coming when I moved to Denver last May, and yeah, I help small businesses power together, and we have Fortune 500 benefits for small businesses.
Come back to the mascot. Ellie, put the mascot in. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Allie. Oh, now you can see me. Anyways, I am an organizer of 1 Million Cups, and I'm also the manager of Green Spaces here, and the founder and CEO of my company, Good Elephant, which you may or may not have signed up for 1 Million Cups on it, which we're super excited about. We have an app where you can find local community classes and events around creativity, mindfulness, and sustainability. So download the app. It's just called Good Elephant, and it's the orange elephant on the App Store. Thank you.
Maureen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maureen Maloney. I am the owner of Wild Air Films. I'm a film producer and freelance cinematographer, and I've been coming to 1 Million Cups since January to kind of develop an app idea that I have. But it's been really cool to connect with everyone on here.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Love getting to know everyone. My name's Nick. I'm the MC, and I've been doing this for about a year now. I'm from Chicago and New Jersey, and I like to mountain bike and play volleyball. Awesome. Moving on, I need to get the slides back up. Later today, we're going to do some community announcements as well. So if you have anything to share, start thinking of what you might want to say. Sharing slides. Cool. Here at 1 Million Cups, we're open to a variety of different presentation types. If you have an idea that you just thought of and you want to get some feedback on it, apply to present. If you already have a business established, you're out to market, you have customers, you want to get some feedback on it, apply to present. If you're ready to raise some money, go to some investors, raise capital, have an investor presentation, apply to present. We'll give you feedback on that. If you're an expert that's related to entrepreneurship, say you're really good at social media, marketing, or finance, something that an entrepreneur can really be, something that you can share to an entrepreneur, we would love to have your presentation. Also, if you're an organization related to startups, we'd love to hear about it, and also past presenters as well. Before we get to our first presentation, just want to let you guys know presenters are here for your feedback. So I really challenge everybody here to think of at least one thing to give feedback on or have a question to ask after the presentation. So our our only presentation is going to be Yocal. Let's cut to the chase. Our local businesses have been decimated recently, but the problem is they were already losing to their Wall Street backed competition. See, they don't have an inferior product. They have a marketing problem. Let's give a big round of applause to Dave and Yocal.
Don't want you to see my notes. Hold on. A lot of light back there. Oh no, it doesn't work. Okay. I'm gonna have to go without my notes. So my name is Dave. I'm the co-founder of Yocal. I am actually new to the Denver area, coming from Austin, but I currently live in Nowhere, Wyoming. So Denver is going to become my home base for civilization, for business, and I'll be traveling here. So really excited to be here. A little disappointed that there weren't actually 1 million cups, but excited to be here nonetheless. So Yocal is Yocal is a platform that connects locally owned independent businesses and bands them together so that they can compete against their corporate and franchise competitors. And let me start with a question. So a friend is coming to Denver for the first time and they want a taste of the city. Where do you take them? Probably Applebee's, right? Maybe Red Lobster if you want some seafood. Texas Roadhouse. No, of course not, right? You're going to take them to something that's uniquely Denver, that's special to Denver. You know, we all know this already, but the locally owned independent businesses are what give our community a sense of identity. They give us the uniqueness and the character. Not only that, they represent the entrepreneurial spirit of our cities. And they have a meaningful economic impact as well because their dollars stay and recirculate in the community. Now, you're probably picturing Main Street businesses, cafes, all those things, and that's great. But don't forget, there's a lot of professionals and services who fit in this category as well. So I'm going to tell you something you already know. Our country, unfortunately, is so divided on everything right now. Our cities have lost and traded a lot of their character and culture for big box retail, cookie cutter retail developments, chains. This has really impacted our country. Now, COVID has had a major impact on small businesses, but here's the thing, they were already losing to their Wall Street competitors before that. In fact, these little guys, I can tell you, I just finished a 68 city road trip across America with my co-founder, and I can tell you they're not losing because they have an inferior product or service. They're losing because they have a marketing problem. These little guys, they might as well be hiding. They don't have the marketing budgets or the sophistication versus their corporate and franchise competitors. And there's specifically 3 key pain points for these micro businesses. These are businesses with less than 20 employees, so the owner's really active in a business. They spend way too much time on the wrong side of the marketing equation, meaning they want new customers walking through the door all the time, when that's the most difficult and most expensive proposition. What they need is to reward loyalty and get their current customers coming back more often and spending more per visit. The other thing you've probably noticed if you've walked into your local cafe or coffee shop, there's a bulletin board or maybe there's business cards around the POS of other businesses. This shows the desire that they have to help each other and cross promote, but it also shows really ineffective manual methods. That's where Yocal comes in. So Yocal is a co-marketing platform and it is exclusively for locally owned independent businesses. It gets all of them plugged into one platform to give them a powerful voice, and it gives local-minded consumers one spot to turn to find those businesses. Even consumers that want to support local don't know where to go find them. You can't Google independent business. You can't go on Yelp and say mom and pop shop. The really important factor here is we implement a loyalty program that is a standalone loyalty program for brick and mortars. It raises their revenue by 15 to 30%, and that has a major impact on their business directly. But the real secret sauce and the magic starts to happen when we network these standalone loyalty programs together. What we do is we allow businesses to share their best customers with each other, and then we give them what they want, which is new customers walking through the door. Now, I have to stop you here because I have years of experience in this space with micro businesses. This is not B2B, and I'll tell you why. There's a major pitfall, which is accessing the business owner of a small restaurant or cafe is not only difficult, it's ridiculously hard. There's a super high customer acquisition cost. It doesn't matter what your solution is, because every college kid in America has an idea for restaurants, right? These people get hit up for everything all the time, and so they ignore everything. It's very difficult to reach these business owners, and it's very difficult to get them to stay on anything. Now, my co-founder and I just spent a few years at an Austin-based startup together where we got intimately familiar with that problem, and we found a way to add an element to our product that dropped our customer acquisition cost by 70%. A little about myself. I founded 3 different technology startups, saw 2 of those 3 through to exit. But my first business was a custom countertop shop. My second business was custom web design and marketing for local businesses. So I've always had this soft spot in my heart for these business owners and what they're trying to accomplish. My co-founder, Bob Johnson, or as I like to call him, the mayor of Main Street, and you'll see why here in a second, he's met with thousands of business owners all over the country, and he has an energy and an enthusiasm that's not duplicatable. He also happens to be a very seasoned sales executive turned startup guy over the last few years. So I got to tell you, we have a COVID story ourselves. We actually left our previous company, launched our own company armed with a product market fit, and we did that on March 1st of last year, targeting cafes, restaurants, and retailers. Literally 2 weeks later, all the businesses we had ready to go were shutting their doors and wondering if they were going to survive. So kind of out of desperation, we're like, what can we do? Well, let's just go out and do some good. At the time, we're like, we can't not do something. We know so many of these people personally. Let's go start a support local campaign on social media. We never could have imagined how intelligent of a strategy that turned out to be. You see, in less than a year, we've created the fastest growing, most impactful support local campaign that this country's ever seen. We've built a community of over 60,000 local-minded consumers across our ideal target cities, and we've got over 10,000 business owners in this kind of know, like, and trust funnel. We've launched Keep Local Live, which is our marketing machine, into 75 different cities across the country. And to drive home the point, the challenge in this space is getting a business owner's attention. What do you think being on their TV screen in their city, helping local businesses does for our customer acquisition cost, regardless of what our product is? And I know you know the answer already. It drops it infinitely. So we have a repeatable recipe and a formula for pre-launching Yocal by launching this Support Local campaign. We are now, and I didn't put this slide in here, this is basically an investor pitch that I'm practicing on you, but we are now starting to go into capital raise mode. We're starting here in Denver, and we're gonna be raising $750,000 in a seed round. We've mainly bootstrapped this out of our own pocket, but have raised about 100,000 of friends and family already. So that is Yocal.
All right, round of applause for Dave. Dave, before we start Q&A, what are some asks you have for the audience?
Yeah, I would love feedback on the pitch, except for not too much of my I'm not a polished presenter yet for this pitch, but the elements of the business pitch, the appeal to an investor, those kind of things.
Awesome. I really like the pain slide. I really connected once you showed that. Who has any feedback or questions for Dave? Can you put your mask on?
So how will you guys make revenue? What is your model? Is it something that's going to be, you know, reoccurring? And then how do you plan to help, you know, I guess put money back into the pocket that you're taking out, right? Because you want to show more value to them. How can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the entire Keep Local Live movement is about not extracting money from the city and taking it out. That's what we're kind of preaching against. So the technology financial model has to get innovative as well. We charge business owners a monthly subscription fee to be a member of this network. So that's where our primary revenue comes from. However, when you get thousands of local-minded consumers, hundreds of local businesses, and you have this much goodwill behind it, you can find these community stakeholders like Community Bank, for example. These bigger organizations that just want to stamp their name on it start paying a monthly sponsorship fee as well. The other end of this that we have less experience with but plan on testing is consumers actually paying for the app. There's a premium version of the app that I can access deals and paying $5 to $10 a month. The innovation we have there is we're thinking of maybe redirecting all of that revenue back to the business owners to offset their costs.
What milestone do you hope to achieve with the 750K?
So the marketing machine, the Keep Local Live initiative, we've really nailed that formula, but we want to scale it up. So we need to hire some actual people. This has been 2 guys doing this with some freelancers. So scale up the Keep Local Live movement because it paves the way for Yocal. And then we have 3 beachhead cities ready to go. Little Rock, Arkansas, Omaha, Nebraska, and Tucson, Arizona are primed and ready for us to actually go launch Yocal. So we're going to go launch our first version of the product there. We cast a wide net with Keep Local Live, and it's primarily actually through Facebook that we do it. We really watch the cities that gave us all the right signals. And in Omaha, Nebraska, I've got a Facebook group of 24,000 people who love this already. And Tucson, it's 12,000 and growing faster than any of them. Same in Little Rock. So,
anybody on Zoom have a feedback or question for Dave?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
My name is Susanna Sandoval, and I serve as a Human Rights Commissioner for the United Nations. And I think it's great that you're looking at this at shifting a local economic model. I'm just wondering if you've considered creating some kind of localized investment fund that would have an oversight panel to be used on a local issue like homelessness or, something else, like a home repair. It could be, whatever gets allocated by a local community. Have you looked at that as a possibility? Because I think when you look at even having like a larger corporation, which they are starting to look at how to mobilize their resources, and there's more local investment control. Is that something that you've considered?
If I'm understanding your question right, it's a great question. I didn't get into it, but really, if you talk about the local loop that we're trying to close, we want local businesses, we want local nonprofits, and we want local stakeholders. So community stakeholders, community nonprofits, and local businesses. And we actually want to drive some synergy between all three. For example, most local-minded consumers, people that want to support their mom and pop shop because they want to support it, don't actually want to use your deals. Even though deals are the best way to incentivize something to happen, like to get somebody in the door. So we really would like to make it possible to give that deal to a nonprofit instead of use it. I still get to incentivize them to walk in. I still get to track and get attribution for what, that person coming in, but maybe give those funds to a local nonprofit. So I don't know if that really answers your question, other than yes, we want to drive some value to nonprofits and local.
Yeah, it's really not just the nonprofit model that I'm talking about. It's more of the economic model and the decision making that happens of where that money gets relocated into the community. Because I'm mostly from a nonprofit sector, but right now the issue is looking at how to bridge the public and the private sectors working together on localized issues. That's more the question.
I guess
Thank you.
it's a broader question that I'd have to talk to you to better understand it and have a better perspective to give you.
Sure, I'll drop my information in the.
That'd be great.
Thank you. Thanks for your presentation.
Great question. Allie, put down your mug.
Hi, Dave. I have a couple of questions, but I'll keep them short. But can you, as a business owner, what's your elevator pitch to the business owner? Could you tell me in 30 seconds what I will experience if I should work with you?
Yeah, if I'm pitching like a brick and mortar business owner, basically I go into, wouldn't you love to have high quality new customers walking in the door? But I get into the need that they have to reward loyalty. Did you know you can lift your revenue by 30% by getting your 15% of your most loyal base coming a little bit more often and spending a little bit more? You get huge bang for your buck. Now I can tell because you have business cards sitting over there that you would love to help other business owners, right? And they all nod, because they all do without exception. Wouldn't it be great if we had a digital way to automate cross promotions going all the time that had trackable results? It'd be something along those lines. My co-founder would have answered that way better than me though, because that's what he does all day, every day. So
cool. Okay, thank you. The other thing is, so I'm trying to grow my business into different cities and stuff, and I'm always curious, what's you guys seem really experienced, and what's your strategy? How did you do 75 cities during COVID?
So Bobby and I were working at an Austin-based startup that was already at this grow and scale point. I won't get into it. There's a lot of other baggage and stuff, but we entered that. I was chief client officer. He was chief sales officer. We were getting ready to scale this thing all over. It was at that time in Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and a couple other states. So we kind of entered this picture with this mindset of how do we scale this thing? How do you get local people and local resources? So without probably giving you a super direct answer, that's the problem we're intimately familiar with. With Keep Local Live as a pure movement to do good, we get volunteers to start helping us. From those volunteers, we get to know them and identify people that can actually help the business launch as well. So it's a very affordable way to go find local talent and local influencers, and they float to the top. And then when we're ready to launch Yocal, we have resources that live there. We don't try to send employees in or anything other than traveling to get it off the ground. The 75 cities for the movement, just to be clear, we launched the Keep Local Live platform, which is primarily social media engine and Facebook group in those cities. And we did that very systematically with some freelance help. Now I think I mentioned we did a road trip. We started in Sarasota, Florida, ended in Seattle, Washington 2 weeks ago. We hit 68 cities, talked to over 200 businesses, got tons of great content and great stories. And the TV news media, for whatever reason, even though the reach is becoming more limited, it's a credibility or trust factor with people. So that TV news media has really helped us a lot.
Can I ask one more question? What was your strategy to get that TV news media?
Bobby, the mayor of Main Street. That guy, like, I think when people see him and meet him, the energy that he exudes for this problem, and he just, it's a problem a lot of people care about right now during COVID, but even after COVID, they will continue to care. But reaching out is pretty simple for local news media if you have the right story.
Dave, I'll go to Dave on Zoom, and then I'll go to Jody. Go ahead, Dave. David.
So tell me the figure again for new customers coming into a business. You said 15%?
So the figure for loyalty programs for brick and mortars that implement a rewards program, they typically lift their monthly revenue by 15 to 30%. By rewarding,
go ahead.
By rewarding customers, you get them coming more often and spending a little bit more per visit. When you get $1 off $10, you end up spending 12 instead of 11. It's that kind of math.
So okay, so these aren't new customers necessarily. They are existing customers who will spend more.
Right, and I didn't give a figure for customer acquisition, other than our cost to acquire a business owner, but they all want new customers walking through the door. I don't have a figure or a specific ROI for that, and I don't necessarily want one. I want the promise of that to be there. I want it to happen, but I'm really going to justify the ROI strongly with rewards and loyalty, because all the big Panera Bread, all these people have proven the ROI already. I just want to take that to the really small guys.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if they were competing against themselves for new folks or tourists or whoever, but it's just existing folks who are spending more.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
By the way, you'd be amazed at same businesses. A lunch deli spot in downtown Tulsa would happily cross promote a lunch place right around the corner in downtown Tulsa.
Is that right?
But they all understand the tide, all boats rise with the tide. These locally owned independents are really in it together. And I've seen this everywhere. So
great presentation. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, David. Jody, do you have something? Go ahead.
Hi guys, it's Jody again. Yeah, I do have a few feedback. I am kind of confused with, in the beginning, you're like, where would you bring your friends when they come visit Denver? And then now you're talking about, the same customers coming back in. So is this more of like networking within the community where you guys send people over to the small businesses, or is it more targeted on, hey, come visit Denver, check out this app? So I think that would be, if you want to just stick to one or both, or I don't know.
So the example is intended to illustrate the community identity, the uniqueness. I think what you're saying is it ends up leading people down this road of thinking about travel and destinations and where am I going, and which it could be too, but isn't the focus. So that's good feedback. Thank you.
Okay. And then also, what about AdSenses? Would that be something that you guys would lean towards, where that could be another additional, revenue coming in from the app or the website? Is there a reason why you guys haven't really launched it yet? Is it because of the platform's not ready? I mean, I own a small business and I would sign up like today. I think it's a great idea. So I don't know what's going on with that.
The revenue potential for us comes from getting brick and mortar retailer and restaurants to sign up first. They bring the tens of thousands of consumers into your app, into this whole ecosystem. It's not the carpet cleaner and the chiropractor. The thing is, the chiropractor and the carpet cleaner, those guys have marketing budgets. Professional service business, they have budgets if it gets them results. But I have to start with the emotional draw to this ecosystem. And if I go try to talk to restaurant owners when they're still wondering if they're going to survive, it doesn't work very well. But the timing is shifting. That's exactly why we're raising capital now. We actually are finding that business owners are looking forward again and don't want to talk about COVID anymore. They want to figure out how they're going to move forward. So the timing is now to go launch the platform. It is ready. It is the first version of our product actually is cleverly integrating off-the-shelf software so that we don't have to build the whole thing from scratch. Some people see that as a detractor, but I see it as a huge way to prevent risk. I'm not going to burn $1 million in capital to build it until I've got people using and paying for it. So I could roll out this basic ecosystem today. I just want those restaurant owners, retail owners to be ready to pull the trigger.
I have a question. for these small business owners, how much time do they have to invest on the platform? Like, if they don't have a marketing team, they are the director of marketing, and do they have on like a weekly, monthly basis have to promote their business and new deals? Like, what's the expectations for these small business owners to get value out of this?
That's part of the major pitfall. There's this customer acquisition cost of acquiring a business owner for anything. There's also a huge churn problem. They don't implement anything. I'll tell you, like, there's a huge percentage of them that have Toast or Square POS that has baked in rewards and baked in texting. Guess how many of them do it? It's like almost none. You have to do it for them without being a service company, because then your costs are high. You have to charge them. You have to find a way to bridge some human involvement with great technology to do it for them. And again, I go back to the problems Bobby and I dealt with at our last company was exactly that. We figured out ways to go proactively do this stuff for them. Otherwise, it never got used, didn't get implemented, and then they canceled.
So the system is gonna do it for them, kind of promoting
I
their
will.
business?
They literally, it's conversational UI. They text me and say, "Hey, I want a listing." I text them back, say, "Here's what I've got. Is that right? What do you want to change?" It's a text conversation or Facebook Messenger conversation almost for everything. "Hey, I want to do a text blast." "Okay, what do you want?" "Here's what I put together." It's a conversation back and forth. Now that feels like a service, but when you look at our backend and what we're doing cleverly with technology, it is a human layer for sure, and it is a cost, but it's the only real solution for small businesses. So
maybe it's just me. I didn't get that from the presentation, like how you're
yeah, it's a
interacting.
done for you approach, and it didn't really come out very well. Right.
Awesome. Anybody else have feedback or question? Ellie? Anybody on Zoom? Okay, Mike. Come on.
Do you have any competition, or how would you identify your competition?
There's a few. There's nobody that's been like most of the reason to support local campaigns aren't working. Facebook's doing TV ads. Google did TV ads. Geico has a billboard in every city in the United States that says we're local. So local has no meaning anymore. I know that's a long way of saying almost nobody limits themselves to locally owned independent businesses as a niche. So in that sense, I have very little competition of people that will group up these segment of businesses within a given city. There's competition on each element of the marketing I talked about. There's other rewards programs. There's rewards baked into POS. So on the product front, yeah, there's certainly competition.
Ellie.
Yeah, I think. Hello. Okay. As far as feedback in general, like I think overall, just from even like behind the scenes 1 million cups wise, like overall your solution is not not extremely clear in general, like what Nick's question and stuff like that. So if there was like a general feedback, it would be like it'd be awesome if as a business owner, like me and Jody and Mike and Maureen, if we could all come away from your pitch with like, okay, I understand what the experience will be like for me when I sign up.
So be much clearer for what the business owner value proposition is and what the product actually does for you.
Yeah. And I think even in an investor pitch, it'd be good because then they can jump into their shoes and feel like, oh shit, like this is cool, So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good feedback. Thanks.
Since this is an investor pitch, what questions did you think of that they might ask that you put into the presentation already?
I'm not following you there.
Just thinking about who you're talking to.
What did I anticipate?
And what would they be asking? And you already thought of those questions and put them into your presentation.
Well, they want to know that it's actually an important problem, which we struggle with off the bat. A lot of people think local is a cliche and it's a thing chambers of commerce do, but it doesn't really matter. So why is this an important problem? They all want to know it's a big problem, which I don't dive into the market to tell you there's millions of these size businesses. So I don't really go into that, but I want them to know it's big. I feel like a lot of investors have been pitched restaurant app after consumer, like they've been pitched so many times on all these things and so many of them have failed. I want to identify the true challenge with this space, which is getting to those owners. And I think I'm blurring what the product does and by introducing multiple things. But man, when I'm talking to an investor that's already maybe put money into something that failed, put money into something that burned through capital, I want them to know I understand what the real challenge is. It's the business model, period. It's not whether you have a good idea that could help small businesses, because everybody could do that.
Awesome. Anyone else have feedback or question for Dave? Okay. I have a final question for you. What as a community can we do for you?
I sincerely want to get plugged into this Denver startup ecosystem. I love Denver, even though I'm very new. Any kind of connections into I just want to make friends here, period. And I don't live here all the time, so it's a challenge. And with COVID, it's been a challenge. Just starting to say, okay, I can get out and actually try to do this. So that's my number one ask, is any connections you can make. You can obviously see some of you video producers. I need some messaging help and probably some videos created and some of that stuff too, but mainly connections. Yeah.
Awesome, Dave. Let's give Dave a big round of applause. Clap, 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 clap.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the feedback.
And Dave, I'll be your friend. So now we're going to go to do some community announcements. If anybody on Zoom or here in the audience have any events they want to share, I think Maureen has something.
I have an event that I am hosting here at Green Spaces through Good Elephant, thanks to Allie. This upcoming Monday, the 10th, May 10th, here at Green Spaces, 7 p.m. We're going to be doing a film showcase of badass lady films that is going to include a few of the documentary film that I'm currently working on, Voice of Vanilla. It's going to include a TV pilot that I created called Hidden Tigers, which is about a Cambodian American woman with a rare disability who is learning to live life more boldly. And then also episodes of my web series Girl Aspiring, which is about women in a variety of cool and unusual careers. So that is going to be here, Green Spaces, Monday the 10th at 7 p.m.
Mark your calendars. All right. Anybody else have an announcement to make? Jody.
Hey guys, it's Jody again. So we have an event, thanks to Allie, here at Green Spaces, June 4th, Friday. It's a month from now, but it's gonna be all about CBD. I have my own CBD company, so we'll be sponsoring. We have 2 other sponsors, and we'll have a panelist. So that's gonna be really awesome. Free goodies, free gifts, food, beer, music, and networking. Lots of networking. So hope to see you guys there.
I'll share these events on the LinkedIn group later today. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, of course. Allie.
Sorry.
No worries.
Hi, it's Allie again. Green Spaces has a ton of community events. Check us out. Everything's on the Good Elephant schedule if you download the Good Elephant app. And also, we are going to be launching our Climate Change Collective event starting in June. So June 1st is the first Climate Change Collective. We'll have like 3 speakers on what's going well in climate change from different angles in the world. And then moving forward, it'll be every Tuesday. We'll have something different. We'll have zero waste markets here in Green Spaces with vendors, and then cleanup events to clean up the Rhino neighborhood as well. So June 1st, Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. That'll be our kickoff Climate Change Collective event with some speakers about what's actually going well, which is exciting. So thank you.
Thank you, Allie. Ashley on Zoom.
Yeah, hi everyone. So as Nick mentioned at the beginning of our call, my book Eureka Results is now officially out. I've been working on it since June, so it's been a long road and I'm glad it's finally published. It's all about how entrepreneurs can make their best ideas actually happen. And you can find out more at eurekaresultsbook.com. I love your support.
Thank you, Ashley. Any others? Cool. Moving on. So next week we'll be here again at Green Spaces and on Zoom as well. We're getting some traction. Let us see everybody coming out. Just a quick reminder, all you guys are awesome. Awesome people for coming out. Everybody on Zoom as well. You're awesome too. Quick reminder, our website, 1millioncups.com/Denver. This is where you can invite friends and coworkers to check us out. This is where you apply to present. We're always looking for new presenters. If you just have an idea, you want to get feedback on it, apply to present. If you have a business and you need to get more feedback, it's free. Apply to present, go to our website. It's a quick application. I do post our meetings on YouTube, and we have all the social media as well for 1 Million Cups. The pun of the day. My brother is a lefty, but my mom always tried to raise him right. Gotta clap. Gotta clap. That one. All right. All right. Well, thanks guys for coming out today. People here at Green Spaces, you can hang out. There's coffee and tea in the back. If you want to stay for the day, you can do that as well. Just check in with Ali. But we'll do this again next week. Thanks guys for coming out. Round of applause for everybody here at Green Spaces and Zoom. And I'll leave the Zoom open if you guys want to connect as well. Thanks guys.
Hit everything, you know. I think it's my struggle is how to in 6 minutes do you hit on everything that's important.
Yeah.
But it is anybody that's worked with entrepreneurs, how they suck to work. Whether you're a service company or whether you have a product, like they're just crazy. They're out of their mind because they're like treading water all the time.
Yeah.
They're not literally crazy. They don't care about you if you're a vendor to them trying to operate their business.
Yeah. And you kind of rely on them for their information to promote them.
Yeah. That's like when we did text marketing, we're like, hey, we're gonna do this thing, let's just stop me. That's how we did it. So marketing, they just need to do something. They're not doing anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had that with our hosts. They're so busy. We call them if somebody wants to do an event in their space, and like that's all we ask from them. Like we go like scour their website for like their description and pictures and stuff. Because they don't want to.
Well, if I felt to build a business listing for somebody, how hard is it to go to their Facebook or Instagram and quickly grab the best images that you like? It's not that hard anymore. Yeah. To do it for them and let them correct you or let them change it. Don't wait for them. It's such a huge pitfall with small businesses. Don't wait for them.
Would you need with your company have like one person assigned each city to kind of like?
Yeah, we call it a market manager.
Yes.
Or coordinator. And so we have a lot of automated texts going out. Those people can reply to those. You need sort of a coordinator that can actually be a human response.
Yeah.
The other thing is emotion doesn't travel through text. If you really want to keep churn low and somebody's really upset, you got to pick up the phone and call them. So it's sort of a bridge of support. And so there's an element of the human service there. That would be like a market manager with some local people on the ground. So, you know, within the associations like Chambers of Commerce or restaurants. I'll tell you what we've found. Chambers suck. Yeah. First of all, they don't care about this segment. They care about their monthly membership dues from everybody. And so they don't do more than lip service typically for this segment of businesses. So I've got it very tainted. But there are some associations that are good. You heard of BNI?
Oh yeah.
BNI is like a pretty quality group of networking business owners. But
You have to pay a fee to be a
yeah, you have to do it too. They'll kick you out.
If you miss one, and you send somebody a
No, that's why it's cool.
Well, okay.
You have to be there every single time for having
From your, because it's one of each like type of business type of thing. Yeah. Cool.
But with local live, I can get in everybody everywhere all the time. Like they're not wondering what you're trying to sell. So I can get into BNI for free. I can get in all these places and start to figure out how to and all that stuff from the movement. It's been a huge help for us.
Have you heard of Thompson? So they have a presentation as like a PDF guide on the exact order of your CDEN slides. And
Sorry about that. I'm not sure if you're there. I think it looks like there's.
Oh.
Yep.
something similar to that.
I could maybe even do somewhat of a demo.
Where's the Zoom? It's gone.
To get some taste of the actual product.
I lost it on my.
I started working on some explainer
Oh,
videos.
Suzanne.
I am. Yeah, I'm still here. I just didn't. I couldn't. I was multitasking, so it seemed like Nick was on. Hi.
Hi.
How are you? I think we're all trying to multitask. It's great. I'm happy to finally be here in person. I've been trying to call in. My schedule just hasn't allowed because I was in a UN session virtually for the last 2 weeks. But thanks so much for hosting these. I think it's really important.
Yeah, of course. It's. I'm so glad that you joined us. And where are you joining from?
Denver.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And what is your company?
My company is Sana Global. I actually do consulting. So I have a background with nonprofits mostly. So it's a lot of it is nonprofit management, which has been the sector that I've been in. And I also do consulting for other small businesses. I've owned restaurants, jazz clubs. I've run festivals. I grew up in a family publishing business. So we pretty much have dealt with a lot of different types of businesses, small mom and pops, and like you were all talking about startups, long time generational businesses, people trying to just, change their economic model and bring, a new understanding to what localize means, right? So I can appreciate what the presenter was talking about in regards to not, people utilizing that title. So and then when we talk about governmental structures, we're talking about, how we're bridging decision-making structures and changing them so that they are localized and that the small business owner does get an ask at that table rather than on the receiving end, because they seem to just want to tax everybody for everything.
Totally. Yeah.
That's a little bit of background of my question, about, because it sounded like he was thinking he was thinking that I was, asking for, like kind of solving social issues. And I'm like, no, I'm a small business owner too. So I understand the predicament of trying to even just get through the pandemic. And I know from traveling around and having monitored like what human rights are, in this climate of a pandemic. I'm already saying post-pandemic because I want it to be over.
Yeah, right.
So these conversations are part of how it's going to be over. How we're building that new normal together.
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
go ahead.
I would love to talk to you sometime about just in general and your background in the nonprofits and stuff that you've worked with. Just for my own company, we're looking to partner with organizations and people who are doing cool events and more inclusive events around town. But yeah, did you get
What's
his
your
contact?
company? No, I did take a screenshot of his info, but I think you guys do follow up as well, right? For people who attend, and I also drop my information in the chat, so whoever is attending, and I'm curious to see how you all are utilizing this platform and making it really localized, because I know, like, when I've traveled to different counties, different counties are doing different things. Different business owners have taken the lead. I have an association chamber background, so I know that structure hasn't really worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually created associations of other associations. So, I mean, we have to change those structures. What does your
Yeah.
company do?
So we connect local event creators with businesses that want to host their events. And so it's good for everybody, kind of, because the businesses want exposure. We're bringing people into their space, and then we have an app. It's called Good Elephant, where people can find the more socially conscious classes and events around town. So we're always looking to partner with local businesses and organizations that are doing events and stuff like that. So
How long have you had your company?
about 4 years.
That's great.
So,
Yeah, Colorado's a really good base. You're based out of Denver?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're in Reno, Sacramento, Denver, and St. Charles, Missouri.
Oh,
So-
okay. Yeah, I spent some time last year. I'm from Chicago, but like I said, I've spent different time, as the pandemic, and I spent about a month roughly in the St. Louis area, getting to
Cool.
not just St. Louis, the metropolitan city, but some of the suburbs. And it's interesting because a lot of folks are trying to copy what Denver has done. I know Dallas, with a lot of the Dallas startups, with the tech companies, and usually it's like a tech corridor that gets created, and then everybody else is like, yeah, that's great, but like, we still
Yeah.
need human contact with each
Yeah.
other. That's great. So how
Well,
many
cool.
people normally come to the events in person? Because I know you're slowly opening things up.
Yeah, we have about 10-ish people here today.
Great. Awesome.
And actually, I should probably go, mingle with people.
Sure.
But we would love for you to come join us. We're at Green Spaces, and yeah, it's good to chat with you.
Yeah. Do you mind dropping your info into the chat so that I can get it?
Yeah, totally. Here's
What was your first name again?
Allie.
Allie. Thank you, Allie.
Yeah,
And let
of
Nick
course.
know that, I'd be happy to have a follow-up conversation. I think it's great that people have this platform and that you're doing a hybrid kind of thing.
Yeah. We're hoping, eventually we'll just be back to our
We will.
in-person, but
I
we'll
mean-
always keep the streaming version.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of gets people to kind of, tap into the network a little bit, and then, go in person. And like, for me, it's been, I've had to embrace technology. I'm in person. But go ahead, you should go ahead and network. But I appreciate you. Thanks, Sally.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Good to meet you
Hopefully I'll
too.
see you soon.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, bye.